Hello and welcome to part 3 of this look at the old Great Eastern Railway line from Wroxham to County School in Norfolk. In this part I shall be travelling from Aylsham south to Reepham along the Marriott's Way. I'm now approaching the site of the old Aylsham station, now occupied by the Aylsham terminus of the Bure Valley Railway. We'll get a little bit closer now. This is the main entrance, all big car park, buildings, etc. And this is what it used to look like. This is looking from the county school direction. Nothing now remains of the old station, not a scrap as far as I could make out. I did ask people on the station in the workshop and they don't know of anything that has been left. It was quite a large station, 8 3/4 miles from Wroxham. There was a single platform, although there was a second platform added later. There was a large station building and canopy, storehouse, cattle pens, a loop, crossovers and several sidings, also a signal box and large goods shed. In 1948 it was renamed Aylsham South, whilst the Midland and Great Northern station, further to the north, was named, surprisingly enough, Aylsham North. In September 1952, passenger services were withdrawn, but freight continued to Lenwade's concrete works until 1981. The signal box was closed in 1973 and the track lifted in 1985. Now if I swing round to the right in this shot of the front of the Bure Valley Railway building, you can see a green embankment there. That was the site of the bridge number 1311 beneath Norwich Road. And that's where I shall be heading next. So from now on, the old railway line becomes part of the Marriott's Way. We started down in Wroxham. We're now at Aylsham, as I'm pointing there. And from here on, we will be on the Marriott's Way, all the way along through Cawston, Reepham to Thelmanthorpe Curve. So I'm now the other side of where the bridge would have been, and we carry on towards County School. And we come across this sculpture, another metal twisted piece of iron, and there's the track carrying on in the distance where we will be going now. And if you've seen my other videos involving the Marriott's Way, you'll know that these seats and sculptures are quite common along that path. They usually have a plaque with a picture on, and this one is particularly decorative. It's the usual steel that's been fabricated and bent, and some extra little detail there as well. And as we moved along, we can see we're in quite a steep cutting now, either side. Obviously all the trees well established over the years. And this is bridge number 1312, carrying Hungate Street over the railway. And also an additional footbridge there as well, that obviously is more modern. But a fine brick arched bridge. This road and crossings are new additions, they're not original. And now we come to an underbridge. This is number 1313, carrying the railway over Milham Lane. Metal guardrails that have been installed since the railway closed. And here it is, girder on brick abutments, very large abutments, particularly on the other side. I'm not quite sure why. I don't think this was ever double track across here. Don't know what the reason is for that. And here's looking along the path that we will be continuing along. And here we have another seat and plaque and sculpture all in one. As I said before, common feature along the Marriott's Way. Not sure what all the plaques are about. Some are not very clear. And here the old railway line crosses a track, or a track crosses the railway line. It's been widened since the railway was closed. It was not a proper level crossing, which is quite often what used to happen once the railway went. And that's looking down the path. Amazing how all the trees and bushes established themselves over the years. Hard to believe there was a railway line through here. And here we have another crossing, this time with a crossing keeper's house. You can almost tell just by looking at it that it's a railway property. They just have this look about them, I think. Fine structure though. Here we have another seat and sculpture, another plaque, which I can quite often never tell what they actually are. Yeah, no change there, I don't know what that is. And again, I'm looking down the track here in the distance, covered by bushes, trees. And here we have another underbridge. And this bridge carried just a farm track by the looks of it beneath the railway line. Pretty impressive though. Girders carrying some brickwork, brick abutments. We've seen them so many times. But they've lasted and still here. And jack arches underneath there. Fine brickwork, as I probably say all too often, but it is amazing the work that's gone into them, and they're still standing. And this is just going a bit further down the line, and yet another seat and sculpture of some description, and another plaque. Let's see if I can see what this is. No, I'll have to study it when I look at the video. So here we have another arched brick overbridge. This carries the B1149, the Holt Road, over the railway line, or used to. And here we are a bit further along, fairly level track. That's an old concrete post that I saw. I'm not sure if that, I think, was a mile post. And here we are looking along. You can see it's quite straight, quite level, but again covered in foliage. It's great walking these lines out in the country on a nice day, a real treat. And as I go along, I find this underbridge, quite a substantial skewed underbridge. Substantial girders and steelwork, concrete. quite an acute angle as well. Some very high parapets there as well. Really extremely substantial, and this carries Bird's Lane beneath the railway. And let's go down and have a look underneath if we can. Yeah, as I said, quite an acute angle. Fine brickwork, abutments and wing walls, and substantial steel work and jack arches underneath, just for a small lane. But as I've said before many times, they're still standing, and this is number 1310. I'm afraid my numbers are completely out of kilter now. Another seat, another sculpture, another plaque. Funnily enough, I don't know what it is, but I'll have a study of it. And now we're at the site of Cawston Station. This is an info board just before I crossed the road to where the station site was. That shows you the old station buildings, a little bit of history, something about some unusual windmills that were near the railway line, and there's the signal box with some the old signalman there. And a little bit of information. They're very good, these boards. If you are walking the line or just out for a normal walk or cycle ride, you can learn a little bit about what you're actually travelling along, or the history about what you were travelling along. And there's the fine station master in his uniform. And now we'll look at the site of where all this was. And this is Chapel Street that we're crossing over, and that ahead is the site of the station. Now an industrial estate, as a lot were converted to, because a lot of these stations had quite a bit of land. And once they were demolished, it was used for industrial buildings. And just to prove that this was a station, there it is, the old station yard road sign. And we'll go a bit further now and have a closer look. So Cawston Station was approached over a level crossing and a signal box, which you can see by the red arrow there. And along the back of the station was a high embankment indicated by the green arrow you see there. Facilities included a single platform, passing loop, a signal box opposite the station on an embankment, and sidings and goods yard. This is the one part of the station, and this is the other part, or the main part now on this map. The high embankment is indicated by that arrow, and the next video that you see will be I shall be walking along that embankment and looking down on the station area. And here it is. Unfortunately, lots of trees and bushes. But down there is the station area, which is now an industrial estate, and basically it's just a lot of industrial units. But as I get further along, yeah, there's just one there. As I walk along further this embankment, we will eventually see the station building through the trees, and there will be a clearer shot later as well. But that's where the tracks were, and the sidings, and the goods shed, etc. The usual facilities. And there's our first glimpse of the station building. Just the typical brick built, pitched roofs, etc., which we've seen quite a few times before already. And this is the other end of the station area, and that again is looking at one end of the station building. Pretty much that we've seen at Coltishall and Buxton. And now I'm down on the station area. You can see the embankment there on the right, and there's the station building, a much clearer shot there. So as we look at a picture of the sad sight of Cawston railway station after closure, I'll say that's the end of part 3, and in the next part, part 4, we'll move on towards County School. And I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.